Brakataya Howell, Brakataya Shai, Brakataya Howell, Brakataya Shai, Brakataya Howell, Brakataya Howell, Bashim Yao Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well, and salutations to the whole elect out there. You Akim to Satakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. I'm not too sure on the title of this, but I might call this Wise Investment in Parallel Times. And this is just this is live. This is not a screenshot, as you can see, of my investment portfolio. And while the market was in a recession and everything is going crazy, as you can see in a day, it went up $710 in passive income. I didn't actively day trade. I didn't watch any stock markets. I didn't wait for the market to open. I didn't do any of that thing. I positioned myself, um, and I didn't come up with this method. I'm not some super smart guy. None of that stuff. I just did a little bit of reading and studied the one that were successful at this. And time again, I advised brothers not to day trade because I found out that yes, a lot of brothers are using the Robinhood app, but they're using options to gamble. They're using options to gamble. And this is a known fact. No one can predict the stock market. No, don't waste your time listening to you can't predict the stock market. All right, nobody could do it. And you see this thing is going up and I'm not doing absolutely nothing, right? And I did a few shows ago when it was red, and I told brothers, I'm like, look, even though this shit is red, it doesn't mean that these companies are losing their value. So I'm going to show you my investment strategies. I'm going to keep everything open with brothers, okay? And hopefully you could avoid the pitfalls and snares of this Robinhood app because it could trap you. It's very addictive if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't understand what you're doing, understand what you're getting yourself into, you'll find yourself depositing more money than withdrawing. The first scripture I want to open up is this. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 37. It says, who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai commandeth it not? So that's somebody that's saying the market's going to do this, the market's going to do that. You're not the Lord, all right? None of us is. However, there's certain things we can predict for certainty due to the Bible, correct? And this is what I've been saying, using the prophecies to get an edge on the stock market. While everybody's selling off their shares and everybody's going crazy, you can see that this portfolio is going up. And this is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now let me show you exactly what I did. You have to take advantage of what you know, right? You have to take advantage of what you can in this society. So let me tell you how I made use of my first advantage of the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll to the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. All right. Look, this might go up to $1,000 in one day. And I didn't do anything crazy to obtain it. All right. It says, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now, the Hebrew word for thick clay is ibatya, right? So with that understanding, we know that this society is run by heavy debt. Everything is done by credit. And now the scriptures speak against usury, right? But the scriptures speak against usury against your brother. So if a brother lends you something, you don't increase. If okay, so if I loan a brother $100, I don't expect to get back 120. That would be wicked. But if we know that this society is surrounded by thick clay, right? You have to position yourself in the society, using the world but not abusing it, to take advantage of that situation. So I always advise brothers that, I don't fuck with credit cards. Credit cards are, but you can use credit cards to your advantage in the society. To establish this position, I'm going to tell you how I did it. It would have not been done if I didn't have credit cards. All right. I saw that the interest rates were down, meaning it was the best time to borrow. And my credit score was perfect. I had a really high credit score. I still do. And the way I established that is understand that this society is based upon that. And if I want anything in this society, anything of a greater purchase, it's not about how much cash I have, but how good my credit is. And there's different ways on YouTube you can find out to position yourself in good credit, man. And look, Elder Ariella said it best. Brothers are going to be in hell. Brothers are going to be in tight situations. But following that, I want to hear solutions. That's what he said. That's what he said, and it resonated with me, you know? I want to get something real quick. Faith without works. Faith without works. Look at James. Let's go to James. Um, James chapter 2, verse 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Right? So, we're going through hell. This is a hell situation, right? Every brother's situation is different, so I'm not gonna say this is universal for everybody. But we all catch hell, man. In some way, shape, or form, we all catch hell. And we believe how Heavenly Father is going to deliver us out of it. But believing is not enough, okay? You have to, if you had the faith that the Lord is going to take you out of it, you have to show some type of action to get yourself out of that situation, you know? If you, there's a saying, they say, smart is learning from your own mistakes and wise is learning from others' mistakes. And I've seen so many people in this truth that have been in tight situations, ride it out. 4 or 5 years later, we still here in America, and they have regrets. They didn't do anything work-wise to position themselves in that situation. Like, what if America's here another year? It's a terrible thing. We don't want to think that. I don't fucking hope that, But look, there's something called Rule 1, which is don't lose money. Rule 2, don't forget lose one. I'm going to build upon that, which is position yourself, try in a situation where you don't have to lose, right? So my strategy is, and certain brothers have different strategies with the Robinhood app. We all believe that America is going to be out of here, correct? All right. So certain brothers is, I'm going to try to make as much money as I can day by day. My approach is a little bit different. My approach is, if I'm here another year, right, which I hope I'm not, I'd rather be stuck with, a few $1,000s in passive income, money I don't have to worry about. I'm patiently waiting for the Lord to come back. And if he doesn't come back, my investments are patiently growing. I'd much rather the Heavenly Father come back. This shit could say $5 million. I would not give a fuck. I'd rather the Lord come back. And I pray the Most High keep me in that way, because I know the love of money could skew people's judgment to go back into the world. Right? So faith without works is dead. So I was in a tight situation, right? And I'm still in a situation that I'm thankful that I got a roof over my head, as always. I'm thankful for the Most High maintaining me in this truth. But I want to better my situation. If I'm here another year from now, I want to be in a better situation, a situation where I have more free time to teach, a situation where I'm making passive income, where I don't have to worry about going to work for Esau, and just have my money generate more money, have my money go work for itself, and then I could have more time to build up my spiritual bank account, So this is the type of moves that I want to do, right? But I have to put the works in to do it. So as the Elder Ariala said, brothers are coming to him about, negative situation, but like he followed the statement. He said, look, now what are we going to do about it, So, that sat with me, So, okay, the move. I utilize my credit, right? I utilize my credit, and not every brother's gonna have this skill to where they could manage money well. Certain brothers know how to earn a lot of money in society, but they can't manage their money and manage debt, and that's not to discredit anybody. Everybody has a different lot. But that's why the scripture says, bear you one another's burdens, all right? So you have another brother that he could manage debt really well. There's this one brother in the camp, I spoke to him, and this brother was able to stretch $20 a week for months, man. But he doesn't make an enormous amount of income, right? So certain brothers had different grips. So you might know a brother that has the ability to generate a lot of income, but he can't manage his money. Whereas have you have a brother that's a money manager, but he can't generate income? You brothers could come together. You brothers could definitely come together and work something out to better your situation, right? So let's get to it. Now, remember, I told you that nobody could predict the stock market. Nobody could predict the future. However, We have the Bible. We have the scriptures. We know what's going to happen for certainty, right? And a prime example is this. I gave you the space situation last show. All right, there's a stock dealing with space. It dropped drastically. It dropped tremendously in value because a lot of people sold off their shares due to fear this coronavirus bullshit. Which yes, the coronavirus is bullshit. I strongly believe the coronavirus is bullshit. Okay, if 12,000 people die on average per year from falling down the stairs, then I want to see the martial law people come out and ban people from walking up and down staircases. That would be silly, right? So too is a virus that's killing allegedly hundreds of people in a populations of millions. But what I do see is the martial law drill. So they're using this thing to practice their martial law. They're using this thing to cover the stock market crash, which was inevitable to happen. Despite the coronavirus, the market was long overdue for a crash, man. And I told this one brother, like, look, the stock market is gonna come back. The dollar could crash. Esau could crash this dollar, right? But he's not gonna get rid of the stock market. He had this thing around since the 1600s during slavery, all that. It's just like when we used to use tokens, right? We used to use tokens to take the train, right? We don't use that no more. We use MetroCards, right? So if you're gonna go from tokens to MetroCard, would you destroy the whole train system? Would you say let's break down all trains and train tracks and build it from the scratch up and start using MetroCards? You wouldn't do that because that would fuck up your money, right? Same too with the stock market situation. Even though the dollar crashed, this shit is still gonna be going, all right? Because Esau makes way too much money off of it, right? One more counsel of advice too is when you enter this market, you can't enter this market with the thoughts. You can't think like America is going to be destroyed. You can't. If you think like that in this market, you won't make any profits. I'm being completely honest with you, brothers. All right. If you think in short term, more than likely you're going to have short term losses. Not even short term um, wins, man. Because big money is in waiting, man. And there's guys you could follow: Peter Lynch, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, all these guys that have beaten this thing, that figured it out. You know, they'll tell you there's no way to get rich quick, man. They'll know it, man. They would know it. In fact, let's go to the scripture right here. Ecclesiasticus 25. Um, um, Slovakia. Let me see if I can find it. I just had it. Ecclesiasticus 25:4. How comely a thing is judgment for gray hairs, and for ancient men to know counsel, right? So, for example, our apostles have the gray hairs in this truth because they've been through a lot. Our apostles are elders, they've experienced it, right? They know this truth in and out. They could give you advice on what you're going through because they've been there, right? So my whole thing is, you got to find the men in this world that have dominated this thing, how they've won it, how they've beat the system over and over again. And it's not a secret how they tell you. I can mention names: Phil Town, Peter Lynch. Um, I've studied these guys. I've been taking the time out to study these guys, study their investment strategies, and it's working. It's working. And the way you beat it is you have to think, all right? Like let's hypothetically, right? Hypothetically think if you were a billionaire, trillionaire, right? And you're looking to invest, you're thinking about what my kids and their grandkids are gonna do, right? You follow that paper trail, it will lead you to the big money, brothers. That doesn't mean you have to wait that long to collect your profits. You just have to follow these Edomites. All right. All right. Now, boom. Here's the strategy. All right. I took advantage of my credit. First thing I did was, and they'll tell you, is you have something called market price. Well, the market price is these numbers that you're seeing going up and down on the right. You have market price, and then you have value. You have the value of a company, right? There's a way to find the value of something, and there's a way to find the market price. So the market price is this stuff you're going to see on the stock market, which I tell you all the time, don't pay attention to that shit. We're looking to find the value, right? And one thing I found was this company called Diamondback Energy, right? It's trading right now for $19.15 is the market price. But what is the value? The value is Robinhood gave it a value of $90. I valued a bit more, right? So, because what I did was, I then went to um, its history, right? 5 year, 1 year history. There's one time that this same stock that's going for $19 was going for $136, right? So when you check out this company, because that's what stocks are, they're parts of companies. They're not used to gamble. Brother, stop gambling. Please. Please, please, please stop gambling. Stop coming on here this thing to gamble. You don't have to gamble to get money out this shit. You have the scriptures. You don't have to guess. This thing is valued at 126, right? I think it's gonna go more. And why do I say that? Well, when we go out there and prophesy, we tell people that gas is gonna be extremely expensive in these streets. We just don't know when. I don't know when. I don't know when, right? But I could guarantee that you people out here are gonna be paying $10 a fucking gallon for gas. I don't know when that is though, because that's a part of the hell and tribulation that's gonna come upon these people, right? So to place that bet, right, I will go to trade. I'll go to trade options, right? And this is what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm willing to bet you, right? So you go buy, you go call option, and I go as far as possible, as far as they have. They have January 22nd here. I said, look, I'm willing to bet you. What's the bet for this one? The betting price for this to make this call that gas will be expensive as fuck in the streets, way more than above $20 is $915, right? Now you might say that's a lot, but we have the scriptures. You're not gonna lose, man. Gas is gonna be expensive as fuck one day, man. I know Saudi Arabia, Russia have this thing right now to hurt the US dollar. That's fine. But Saudi Arabia can't maintain that position forever. And look, man, you go out there and teach it. If you teach it, if gas is going to be expensive in the future, and you believe that, then why doubt yourself? Why doubt the scriptures, right? I have 100% that the Most High is going to make that shit expensive as fuck, man. And I'm willing to bet it. I don't know when, but I'm going to max out the future potential of it. And here's an interesting fact: the further out you put your call option, the further out you put that call that this thing will go up, the more it's valued, right? So I put a call on it, and sure enough, I bet you that this company is going to go back to its original value. And even if it costs me $900, right, from now, whenever it starts to go back to its original value and gas starts to go back up, you're getting $1,000 every $10 this thing goes up. So you do the math, man. The only thing that requires it is patience. All it requires is patience, man. And that's what all these anytime you look up these seasoned investors, you're going to see that they all Edomites because Jake don't got the patience. Jake is just trying to get rich quick, right? And that's why Jake always go broke, you know? Patience. So you see I have a few call options on here. I have a call option on that oil company that is going to go back up. I spent $410 on that call option, right? That is the oil is going to go back up. That option is now worth $595. All right. Now, whenever the Most High bring the hell upon this place and make oil go up, this thing is going to be valued in the thousands, right? I'm not watching it. I don't care about it. I'm just going about my life day to day, paying my bills. And when I see fit to collect this bet, I'm going to collect it. It doesn't expire until January 15th, 2021. All right. And I put another one because I was trying to get one for even more out because I know the further out you put it, the more expensive it is, but I couldn't afford it. I put another one here for 2022. Do I plan to be here 2021, 2022? Look, man, you have to say Lord willing every day, right? I pray we get delivered out of here by then. But if I'm here, I have a security just like Hezekiah when building the aqueduct. I have a security, you know, that if I'm here, whatever, and let's say the most I could also just snatch your life out. Well, look, if you die in this truth, you don't lose. You know, if you die in this truth, you don't lose. You're gonna be the first on the chariots, man. So I'm trying to put myself in situations where, I don't take an L, man. That's it. And I'm trying to tell brothers the same. You know, and I had to laugh because I was talking with the priest Palau, and I was telling him, it's crazy how I could tell brothers I could tell brother about the space situation, and I could tell him, look, man, just put a 2 year call on space. Put a 2 year call that space is gonna go up. Fuck out of here. 2 years? You're not gonna be here 2 years. And then that brother's gonna walk away and say, we're gonna snatch you out them space stations. You see what I'm saying? If you believe we're gonna snatch them out them space stations, then you could bet it. You don't, and for you, it's not a bet because you know the Lord is gonna do it. All right. So what's the next position I took? Here's a company, Boeing, right? Boeing is part of the military industrial complex, right? There's one of the companies. You have Boeing, you have Raytheon. I have them all lined up here on my watch list. Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. All these companies have to do with war. Now let's take a look at Boeing, right? Boeing is valued at $101 right now, right? I put a call option in for 110. So if this thing goes anything above 110 in the next 2 years, I'll be making money. And I don't have to watch the stock market. But check this out. Boeing have to do with war. Boeing make planes. Even when the system falls, they're still gonna be having planes. When the missiles is coming, airplanes are still gonna be being made, man. You telling me they're not gonna still be making airplanes, bro? You telling me that there's not gonna be a war? We know that there's gonna be a war. When there's a war, this thing spikes up. So if there's a World War III coming, wouldn't it be in your best interest to bank money on it? You know? One dude in the gym was like, "What war? What war are you talking about?" Inside your head, you're laughing because you're like, a nigga like that would never find a stock like this, because they're not thinking about war. So let's look at Boeing, right? Just in April of 2019, this thing was trading for $379. I value a war stock like this anywhere from $400 to $500, man. They got it here for $347, because I could put a crazy value on this because I know war is inevitable. And this crazy vicissitude of life situation, as one of these Edomites, Charlie Munger, would say, brought this stock down because of people emotions. People started buying and selling off. And it's going to bring it down to its value. I mean, what that does is a lot of people come in the stock market trying to be rich, and what that does is they inflate the price of a company that doesn't have that value. And when there's too much, pretty much when the stock price starts to outgrow in percentage wise the growth rate, then certain companies get exposed and it brings them back down to their market value. However, certain companies get caught up in that have truly high value. So your job is to find those companies that have that truly high value. And there's a couple of them out there. You have JP Morgan, all right? You have a lot of companies out there, but what I'm doing is I'm going with companies that have to do with prophecy. Nokia, 5G, RFID microchip, put it in the bank. I don't know when, but I know that has to come to pass. Boeing, war, that has to come to pass. Space, that has to come to pass. So I put 2 year call options on them. All right. That don't mean I plan to collect my profits in 2 years. And I'm just sitting waiting. I'm going to continue teaching, Lord willing, continue working. And if we hear another year, then this 8,000, assuming these prophetic stocks do what they do, and they will. All right. I feel confident in the scriptures. I feel confident that as time goes on, we're going to get closer and closer to war. Hence, this will go up and up and up. I just have to sit and wait, man. I just have to sit and wait. And if we hear before that and this shit get collapsed and we get delivered, I wouldn't feel any type of feelings. And I wouldn't feel mad. I wouldn't feel like I wasted my money, nothing. Because I'm not putting any money into this. I already put the down payment into it. I'm just having it grow. So, brothers, if you have a brother out there that has really excellent credit, and you could take out the loan, that if you have a high credit, you already know how to manage debt. If you have a brother that has a really great income, but doesn't know how to invest or manage his money, and you don't make money, you approach him with the situation. And put him in the situation. To have money just make itself. I'm not putting any money into this, man. I'm not putting any more money into this. And that's another thing, man. If you find yourself depositing more money and taking losses than withdrawing, you've just been caught. Let me show you something real quick. Borrower servant to lender. Elder Taziah one time gave me advice, and it always stuck with me when I went to apply for a higher position at my job, and I was betwixt about it because I think it would eat up my time from this truth. The elder told me, get more money, not more work. Well, one of the Rockefellers, his attitude is, get more money with no work. That's how these Edomites think. He said, I'd rather have 100 workers that give me 1% of their work than me giving 100% of my own work. So that's how these devils think, rulership mentality, man. You know? So my whole goal for brothers is to find a way to generate passive income to where you're prophesying the downfall of this society and Esau is paying you for it. I think that's a great situation to put yourself in. Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And that's how these Edomites are preying on everybody. One thing I find interesting about this app, and it's an easy way to get brothers to lose their money, is if you try to make a deposit, it's instant. And the more money you put in this shit, the more money you could deposit instantly. But your withdrawals are not instant. To get your money back, it has to sit for 6 trading days. So do you get the trap? Do you get the snare that they're doing? They're making it easy for you to pump money in this thing, but it takes time to take money out of it. And it's sad because, Peter Lynch, one of these Edomites, he said this. He said, when people go to buy a house, they take weeks to think about it. When they go to buy a car, they might take weeks or months to think about it. But when it comes to buying a stock, they could put half their life investments off some shit they heard somebody say in a train station. And I don't want that to happen to any brothers, man. I don't want to see you brothers lose your money, man. I want to tell you how to put yourself in positions. So if you have the collateral, if you could come up with the collateral, get you a war stock. The only one this is the shit about it too. A lot of them shits is already going up, man. It's gonna be too late to get in. And by time people wake up and realize the best opportunity to get into the stock market, everything is gonna be overpriced, man. Everything is gonna be overpriced. You're gonna be buying things overpriced. While guess what? The wise dudes, the dragons, the Warren Buffetts, the Phil Town, all these wise dragon Edomites, they're on the corner sitting, finding ways to make passive cash flow and pounce on situations like a recession. And the shit about it, man, look, the recession only happens once every 6 years, man. I don't plan to be here another fucking 6 years, man. So this is the time to take advantage of this opportunity. While all this chaos is going on, this coronavirus, martial law shit is going on, I just stuck back to the scriptures, man. The scripture says, look, peace and safety, then sudden destruction. All right? Peace and safety, then sudden destruction. The destruction is going to happen when people are the most good. Like when when they think this shit is not going to end. That's when the Lord said he's going to do it. Right now, I'm walking on the job. You have people talking about scriptures and the end of the days. And, the scriptures don't say. The scripture said it's going to come when they least expect it. When people are not even thinking about the Bible. Meanwhile, you hear ready, bracing it. And that's when the Lord's going to bring it suddenly upon these people, man. And that's what the scriptures say, man. So I understand that. I'm just reverting back to the Bible. So I don't see this shit going another 6 years. The last time this opportunity presented itself was back in 2009. That was 12 years ago. So you do the math, man. This bull markets last a very long time, and recessions normally end with everything hitting all-time highs. So what I see happening is I see Trump giving out that stimulus. All right. That's going to cause a lot of people to jump back in this economy, and the fact that the recession happened so fast, the reason these stocks dropped so fast is, unlike in the 20s and the 30s and all those other times it happened, there was no Twitter. Word traveled fast, and people are highly, highly, highly emotional and highly irrational. Highly irrational and highly emotional. You just have to use the media. But 2 Corinthians 2:11, we're not ignorant of this device. Esau's been doing this tactic for decades, man. Remember the HIV virus and AIDS, how they pushed that and told that lie, and the fact that the medicines that they were giving people um was actually causing people to have immune deficiency, while the actual virus had nothing to do with AIDS, and they didn't find it out till years later. But that media, man, that media could manipulate the fuck out of people, man. So this is a tactic right now in what they call a bear market to position yourself. You find undervalued stocks that have to do with prophecy, brother. Find ones that have to do with prophecy, whether it's going to be war, whether it's going to be. Because I know there's a lot of great companies out there that fit the criteria of getting an undervalued company that you know is going to bounce back, because that's what Esau does. But to even feel more comfortable, more peace of mind in your head that you don't have to worry, you get one that has to do with prophecy. You put a call option on it, a 2-year call on it, right? That look, you just betting like, look, man, while I'm here, I know this shit is gonna go up because this has to do with prophecy. And you just fucking wait, man. You teach, all right. You know, you looking forward to you looking forward to first and foremost this place being destroyed. But if it's not, you're not in a situation that other dudes have put themselves in time and time again, man. Time and time again. Time and time, I see it, man. And look, bro, when you make your money, I'm gonna advise you, brothers, man, because if you set yourself up in this thing, if you bet on the prophecies, you can't fail. You're gonna make money. Don't try to be the pocket. You know, I know that might sound unbrotherly, but don't try to think like, oh, I'm gonna take out all my money and give every brother $1,000 in the camp and all that. Don't try to be the pocket. You know, learn from other mistakes, right? That's the wise thing to do. There's already been enough MC Hammers in the world for us to know that wouldn't be a smart move, man. All right. So what I'm gonna do is position brothers to make money in a bull market, passive income. Pardon me. Position brothers to make money in this bear market when everybody's scared. All right, and then I'm gonna show you the investment strategy to make money in a bull market when everybody's um buying into this shit and throwing their money in it, trying to get rich. All right, I'm gonna show you a strategy to make passive income. Passive income. All right, passive income is money just working for you while you sleep in a bull market. There's two strategies. There's one to make it in the bear. There's one to make it in the bull, and both requires patience, man. All right, so look, if you're trying to get rich quick, I can't tell you how to do it. I already searched it. Warren Buffett, all these dudes that were successful at it, they all tell you it requires patience, man. So you're gonna need patience, all right, and a bit of stability, all right, and a bit of control over your emotions, all right. So brothers, stop gambling. Can't predict this shit. Lamentations 3:37. You don't know what the fuck this shit is gonna do day by day. But if you have the collateral, put yourself in situations that your money's just gonna keep accumulating over itself, man. This shit right here, just yesterday said $7,000. It's already up $1,100, and I didn't have to work for it. I didn't have to clock in or nothing for it. Hey, so with that, man, hey brothers, I think it's better to actually teach brothers information than just give fucking handouts and just say, you know, it's better to get the information and put the time in to learn this shit, brothers. And you know, I'll be working with a few brothers, man. Any brother that's interested, I'll be working with you how to put yourself in this situation. All right, with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the blondes of the apostles and the elders of great millstone with you well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, all you Akim to Zadakim that believe in this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.